Good morning. We're going to talk about how do you partnership with the media. And there's several things to consider when you're dealing with the media from a public safety point of view. I went to a couple of schools. One of them was with a news anchor out of Norfolk, and the other one was with an FBI agent, the one who did the media relations for the Oklahoma City bombing. And one of the things that the anchor said was, look, we have a job to do. So if you let us do our job, we'll let you do your job. That was actually very good advice, because as I became chief and as I went up in rank and became chief, the media, I developed a rapport with them by being very accommodating. There were certain things they couldn't do. For example, we had a drowning in a lake and they wanted to get up close. Well, there was nowhere for them to get. So what I did, and get close, I put them in a position where they could see, but they couldn't see the body. And they were very satisfied. Had an incident with a possible bomb when I was chief, and they wanted to watch it. So I said, you can't get anywhere close to this. I said, but if you go across the street in the parking lot, the bomb expert said that's far enough away. So I put them in a place where they can watch. And that's an important thing to do. So you just got to remember, the media has their job. You have your job. Let them do their job, be accommodating, but don't let them interfere with your work. Another example was in Apex, North Carolina, when they had a big chemical fire. They had an excellent relationship with the media there, and the chief was in the command post watching this, and this was a significant fire that changed command posts several times, and everybody was exposed. It was just a mess. The media got past the barrier, and the only way they knew, because they were watching the news on TV, and they saw them take a picture from inside the containment area, or their quarantined area, and that cost them $75,000 because they violated the police scene, the direct thing. But it's very important to build that relationship with the press. If you ever do a live TV interview, sometimes in small towns, the reporter has their own camera and does that. Sometimes they have a camera person. If they have a camera person, get to know their name. Because if you get to know their name and you treat them with respect, most people forget about the camera person. They only talk to the reporter. And I'm not talking about during the interview. I'm talking about before and after. You always thank him for coming. Get his name or her name, just so you can call him by name. And that makes a big difference. And that builds a relationship, a trust relationship between you and the cameraman, you and the camera person, and you and the reporter. Another thing when you talk to the press, give them information because they need it. But if you don't give them enough information, you're going to make it up. And when you give them information, hold back a couple of things, because they have to ask questions. That's their job. And if you tell them everything you know and they start asking you questions, you're not going to be able to answer any of them. So you hold back a little bit. That allows them to do their job at the same time you're doing your job, because then they can ask questions and you can answer them. Another thing is always follow up. If you say, I don't know that question, you leave me your information, I will find out and I'll get back to you. So building that relationship with the press is very important, because nothing can make you look worse than the media. So always remember, build that relationship. So what do you think is the best way to build that partnership, that relationship with the media? And how do you develop that? What if you do get a hostile media? Think about those things and let me know how you think you could deal with those.